Hello and welcome back to American Truck Simulator. When we left off, we were still traveling south through Mexico. So we are here in this part of the world, just inside of Ciudad Obregón. Apologies for pronunciation. Apologies for getting all the words wrong. Apologies for my pronunciation. There we go. So we don't have far to go. What fascinates me is we apparently are going off the coast here. I checked, and I don't think the map is misaligned at all, so I don't know what this part of the world is going to look like, but it just, the road itself veers off the actual background map, so we'll have to see what that's about when we get down to it. Anyway, let's keep on driving. So in the last episode, we sort of left off talking about crypto. Oh dear. Oh yeah, I remember. Let's just slowly turn all the way around here if we can. That'll do it. Uh-oh. A little bit of a seam in the world there. We weren't supposed to see that. Bear in mind, of course, that the Mexico area is modded in. It is the Reformer mod. Really good, really high quality in general. But they are not the official SCS team, so... Oh god, what way am I supposed to go out here? I think either direction, right? Yeah, we can just cut straight out. Let's do that. Oh dear, what have I done? Of course I've done that. It's the wheelbase on these damn American trucks. I always forget that the wheelbase is really long. Right, hang on. All the way this way, I think. Yeah. Good. Good. Just like that. And now you can go past, and then I'm gonna take another shot at pulling us out a bit further forwards. Closer to the diner, and then up on the curb and around, and we got it. Okay. Recomputing. Fantastic. Thank you. Yeah, we were talking about crypto. And, oh, brilliant. The lights just changed for us. The world just kind of changed there as well, didn't it? I think, yeah, Reformer is made by multiple developers. They were originally separate maps. There was I forget what the name of the separate maps were, but the developers eventually joined their work together, and so now it's the Reformer team, and they're all working on this together. But I suppose occasionally you're going to see the seams where one developer's work ends and another's begins. But in general, look at this. This looks great. So, what were we talking about? We were talking about crypto, and at the end of the video I did mention NFTs briefly. I said maybe we'll talk about them at some point. We may as well talk about them now. NFTs, or non-fungible tokens, you've probably heard of them. They've been in various rounds through the news. And the way they're popularly known is as just images, just digital images that people, for some baffling reason, collect. And are non-fungible, you know, in air quotation marks. Which is supposed to stop what exactly, people think? Well, copying? Well, I can screenshot your NFT. I can, you know, just download the JPEG of your NFT. So what's stopping me from doing that? The thing is, the NFT, the non-fungible token itself, is not the image. It's not the JPEG. And I think that's a really silly use of them. We'll talk a bit more about that in a second. But what the NFT is, the non-fungible token, is just a string of, like, JSON, which has been written to a certain address on the blockchain. The non-fungible token is, it has a specific specification that gets written onto the blockchain, and then that part of the blockchain cannot be copied, cannot be duplicated without introducing some difference. It cannot be... essentially, it works like any other token on the blockchain, which makes it as secure as the currency on the blockchain. So if you can accept that the currency is secure, because it is, you know... Oh, come on, did I? Yes, yes I did. Okay. Come on, there you go, there's your space. Yeah, so the non-fungible part essentially means... well, no, I googled fungible because everybody had to learn what fungible meant all of a sudden. And fungible essentially means that two iterations of the thing, say a dollar, right? Two iterations of a dollar are functionally the same. Like, your dollar may have a tear in it, my dollar may not, but the $2 serve the same function and are perfectly interchangeable in every way. And, you know, once they're, you know, not paper currency, once they are in a digital system and we're using them on, I don't know, PayPal or whatever, we're using them online, then they are fungible. $1 is exactly the same as another dollar, and so a dollar could be said to be a fungible token, like a Bitcoin is a fungible token. A non-fungible token is one that a non-fungible token is... I'm having difficulty explaining this. Can I go all the way to the right here? I cannot. Okay. We'll just go through here. So a non-fungible token is one that cannot be interchanged for another. You know, it's got some specific values. It's not copyable or duplicatable, and it cannot be directly exchanged for another because they are, well, you can trade them, of course, but they are essentially not identical, and no two can be identical. Functionally, they simply can't. The way they're written onto the blockchain, they cannot ever be made identical. There's always, you know, various meta values that are attached to them, like the specific address, and it might have a digital signature and stuff like that. So the token itself is just a JSON document, basically, that references an image, and that image can be copied and pasted all over the place or whatever. It can be a video too, like people have made NFTs of YouTube videos. People have made NFTs of people's YouTube channels without permission and for no reason. Like, essentially they're making them like trading cards. Like Pokemon trading cards, like Magic the Gathering trading cards. I have trading cards. I have, I don't think I've got any Pokemon cards. I wish I did. I've got some Magic the Gathering ones. I've never played it, but I've got some I have played Arena. Arena's a lot of fun. But I've never played Magic the Gathering, like, in person with anybody else. I own some cards, but they are sitting on a shelf over here. But essentially that's what a non-fungible token is. It's a trading card, as well, in the way that they're used currently. A very expensive trading card. There's that flickering again, huh? I've forgotten what the button is to wind down my window. There we go. Oh no, it's definitely flickering even with the window down. Good wind effect there as well. I don't know how well you'll have been able to hear that, but that was really good in my headphones. I don't know what that's part of. Probably the sound fixes pack. Anyway, so non-fungible tokens they cannot be replicated, so essentially you always know the source, you always know who has it, you always know its authenticity, which essentially makes them really effective contracts And so the ones that are attached to images that are being sold all over the place, and people are buying art as NFTs, right? Oh, this looks like quite a bumpy road, huh? I'm not feeling the bumps, but it... Yeah, there we go. Essentially, the NFT itself is a contract saying, hey, you have purchased this and this now belongs to you. Oh, and here's a misconception about the blockchain and tokens in general, in fact. So when you are participating in the blockchain, whether that be to use the currency or whether that be to collect NFTs, whatever, you have a wallet. And what your wallet is, you'll download an app and that app will call itself a wallet. But what your wallet really is the specific address of your, essentially your identity on the blockchain. And you can have multiple of these. But you get an address on the blockchain, and then items on the blockchain, like, like the currency tokens and like NFTs, then get associated with your address. You don't actually have those NFTs in like a wallet. They're not like, well, now that I've purchased it, it's sitting in my wallet. It's not. It's sitting out there in the ether. It's on the blockchain, and when you sign into your wallet, it essentially looks up everything that's associated with your address on the blockchain, and that's the record of ownership. That's your contract of ownership, basically, and that's fundamentally how all blockchains work. So yeah, NFTs have some potentially really cool uses, like for the future. But at the moment, people are using them for like this novelty purpose that I have very little interest in. This whole using it for trading cards and art and sort of stuff, and using them for games, and then creating a whole new model of pay-to-win gameplay in these NFT and crypto-based games, and it's a hideous direction for the game industry to head in. And many large game developers or many gamers have rightly told the crypto community to like fuck off with their concepts of introducing NFTs into the system and whatnot, and essentially creating these pay-to-win gameplay models. Like, okay, well, now let's talk about something like Fortnite, right? Fortnite could theoretically associate its cosmetic stuff, because you can buy cosmetic pickaxes and cosmetic costumes. It could associate those with NFTs. At the moment, what they do is when you purchase them, it gets associated with your Epic account, presumably, and then you get to use them in the game whenever you log in. Associating them with NFTs wouldn't fundamentally change that in any way, apart from the fact that you'd be using a cryptocurrency to purchase them. But then whoever's hosting the service can sit as an intermediary, as like a broker in between, and let you use real world, dollars and pay for them that way, just converting it to cryptocurrency and letting you purchase it that way. Then it would sit in your wallet, your hypothetical wallet. Essentially, it'd be sitting on the blockchain, and you would own it because it'd be associated with your address. It doesn't fundamentally change anything except to... This is a beautiful area, by the way. I like these cliffs. So yeah, it doesn't fundamentally change anything apart from like where they're hosted. It like decentralizes the hosting, so it's no longer Epic in charge of that content and associating it with your account. It's the decentralized blockchain. We might question, what does that add? Well, that adds that see, a lot of people trying to sell the gaming industry on the idea of NFTs were saying, oh, you could like buy a gun in Call of Duty and then take it with you and use it in Battlefield. And yeah, I mean, kind of is decentralized, but the people who make Battlefield would still have to model that gun in their game. All you're selling is the idea of a decentralized storage solution that stores the JSON data that is associated with that model in the game. The other game developers still have to model it in their game for you to be able to use it. So it's not as simple as just buying it in one game and then using it in another. It's more complicated than that, and game developers aren't necessarily going to work together to make it function the way you're trying to sell it. Oh, why am I stuck? Am I not moving? Why am I stuck? Oh no, I'm moving. Okay. The road is a little bit bumpy here, and I think it's just the speed bumps. I'm having trouble getting over the speed bumps. Come on, get moving. See, maybe I need to reverse a little bit, and then it is just the... Come on, there we go. Yeah, I need a little bit of run-up to get over those speed bumps. This is a nightmare. $12 paid. Just open the gate for me, please. Just open the gate for me, please. Thank you. Off we go. And then there are NFT games, like, built from the ground up to be on the blockchain. These games are showing up, and there's some kind of, like, Pokemon clones and whatnot, and, like, so you play the game, and it's on the blockchain, so you, while playing, earn that specific game's token, because it can create its own token. You earn that game's token, and that token has a real-world currency value. And you can use those tokens to purchase the NFTs in the game of, say, the whatever the Pokemon clone is in the game, right? Or whatever the gaming mechanic item is, you know. And those create essentially a pay-to-win model that. Where's that road go? Oh, yeah, straight into a barrier. So yeah, it's some bullshit. There's a lot of snake oil being pushed in the world of NFTs, and people have rightly reflected on that and said that's bullshit. And then, of course, there was the environmental costs we talked about last time, like the huge computational costs of blockchain. We talked about those last episode and how they are being addressed and have been addressed. So now most NFTs are on, I believe most NFTs are on Ethereum, which is just switched to a proof of stake model, which has therefore reduced the energy consumption of the whole network by an enormous amount as well. So NFTs no longer have that huge computational cost anymore. I need to slow down. There was obviously police officers at the side of the road. They're probably doing speed checks, right? Yeah, so now that it's less computationally costly, and now that it's less, environmentally costly and everything like that, maybe crypto picks up a little bit more popularity, maybe NFTs pick up a little bit more popularity, but I just don't see them currently being used for anything worthwhile. And I think the general public feel the same. However, I think they do have some interesting applications for the future, and we should talk about those a little bit. Because they are, like I was saying, just a contract, and you can verify the ownership. So they could be good for, like, a house deed that also functions as a house key fob, right? You get digital key fobs. You could just But then, you see, the problem with an idea like that is that it's a lot. It's a lot to suddenly say this is all going to rely on new technology when we have systems in place for handling all of that already. Yeah. That's one concept I saw somebody pitch, and I think it's not going to work. And the problem with using them as like digital contracts in general is like where money wouldn't be involved. You're just trying to make an agreement between two people. You could do that on the blockchain, and then there'd be a record forever of like they made that agreement. But you have to pay a transaction fee in order to make any transaction on the blockchain. So suddenly there's a cost involved, and that's one of the things that sort of inhibits adoption of the technology. Nobody wants to have to pay to do like an everyday thing like signing a contract between two people. Which is why NFTs have really only found use as like a novelty for the time being. As like tradable art, and even then, like the tradable art isn't even taken seriously by half the people who collect NFTs. Because you've got people selling art in the form of NFTs, which are then purchased by, supposed NFT collectors. However, they're not really interested in collecting those NFTs. They're interested in watching its value increase and then selling it. They're treating it the same way they've treated all the other currency, just as a speculative, as a speculative token with increasing value. So the space as a whole is massive, but incredibly divided and immature. Because you've got people who got into, like, okay, there are expressions in the crypto community, like I guess I'm trying to remember one. Is it HODL? I can't remember what that stands for, or if it is just like a play on hold. Oh, there's that one, isn't it? There's an expression that goes, "We are all gonna make it," or WAGMI, WAGMI. We're all gonna make it. It's so dumb because they've got this this cult-like mentality that by holding onto their cryptocurrency through every dip and every dip and every rise, it's just gonna eventually all increase over time, and we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. It's gonna be fine. We're gonna get through this. And this is why you've got aggressive salespeople, like the same guys, the same dude bros who do like fucking dating guru scams and shit, right? You've got them involved in the whole crypto space as well, because big things ahead. Ooh, I should not be going through this way, should I? Everything's fine. Because there is this cult-like mentality of getting people to buy in and then never sell out. So you can exploit their interest and get them to buy in more, specifically from you, and then sell out yourself when the time comes. It's all immature and just a bit scammy. So even with the environmental savings, the computational savings, it's not a space that I really recommend to anybody. Maybe one day, crypto will find a legitimate use, and a lot of companies are picking it up like it like it will and might, and it's worth watching, really. But there are so many things that make it difficult to recommend to people and inaccessible to people in general. Because as we were talking about, how the how your wallet works, if you have a wallet on the blockchain, is you have an address, and in order to access your address, you don't like have a username and password like you used to. What you have is a secret key. Now, as a software developer myself who SSHs into servers all the time, basically that means I'm connecting to servers from my own computer to communicate with them directly. Secret keys are involved all over the place, like oh sorry, I mean private keys, private and public keys. That's what I'm trying to talk about in particular. You have a private key associated with a public key, and that public key is your address on the blockchain. And your private key needs to be kept secret. So some of these wallet apps don't even give you your private key. They'll just store it on your device, and instead what they'll give you is a passphrase of like 12 words. And you'll have to write that down somewhere as well. So it's not your traditional sign-in process, and so it's very it's all quite complicated and quite new, and I think that limits adoption of it because it's unfamiliar. Only 159 miles to go. Amazing. We might actually make it without requiring sleep down here in Mexico again. I might need to get some petrol. So we probably will finish this journey in this episode. I don't know how long I've been going for, how long I've been talking about NFTs for. I think I've said everything I can about them, really. I do think that decentralized tech is really interesting in general. And I do think there is an application for crypto in that space too. But the focus on crypto is the weird part. Because, well, the focus on blockchains is the weird part. Because blockchains are really good as like a currency. So many speed bumps. Blockchain, really good as a currency. The whole concept of NFTs is fundamentally sound and works. Like even when people can, copy the JPEG or whatever, they aren't then also the owners of it. Someone can take a photograph of the Mona Lisa, but the museum that houses it is still the current owner. Actually, are you allowed to take photos of the Mona Lisa? I don't think you are you? You get my point, though. So the truth is, people who collect NFTs and take it seriously, unlike the people who are just trying to see the value go up, those people don't necessarily care that you've copied their NFT, like taken a screenshot or downloaded it or whatever, and then reposted it to them on Twitter or whatever, because that doesn't prove ownership, and that doesn't prove value. It's the JSON contract instead, the bit that's actually on the blockchain, that actually holds the value. What you've essentially done, even though it is yes technically a copy of exactly the same image, you've essentially taken a photo. The way digital goods work is weird in general, and I really don't want to talk about that because it'd be really boring. Because when you're like, when you send something to someone, sorry, almost crashed. When you send something to someone, say via email, what are you actually sending? You're not, like when you attach something, you're not sending the document. you know, it's just like sending a fax. You're not sending the document. You're scanning the document through your fax machine. You're essentially creating a copy that gets sent. And the same happens with email. You attach the thing and it creates a copy on, I don't know, Gmail servers or whatever. And then when the person downloads it on their end, they create another copy. So anytime you see anything on the internet, that image that's attached to an NFT, say, you're not seeing the original image. You're seeing some copy of some copy of some copy that's been uploaded, downloaded. Anytime that happens, it's not proving that the original, that it is the original. There is no original copy, so to speak. Yep. There we go. Paid the fine. No, paid the goddamn thing. Go. You know what it is? It's the damn nose on the American trucks. Because the box cab of the European trucks, I'm very much more familiar with just driving up close to barriers and not having the nose jut out in front. I have forgotten where I was going with the concept of a copy of a copy of a copy. But yeah, I don't inherently see... I was talking vaguely about crypto, wasn't I? Blockchain technology. Yes, that was it. I was talking about the focus on blockchain technology and how I feel like that's not the right focus. Sorry, for decentralized technology. Because in general, I think decentralization is a good thing. You know, if you take your data and your social networking out of the hands of Facebook, out of the hands of Google, out of the hands of Amazon, right? And you do it all on a shared, decentralized network, then that's a good thing for you and for anyone who's interested in doing that, and for everybody, really. That could be really good. So I've mentioned before, I think I mentioned it in the previous video, I use have used a database called Gun, which is a decentralized browser-based database. So you store the data in your web browser, and then it's decentralized. It synchronizes with other databases in other people's browsers, so you can have a whole social network built up. And in fact, they have built a social network using this technology that is decentralized. And like, ideally how it would work is you would, when you go to somebody's profile on, say, the social network, let's use that as an example. When you go to somebody's profile, you, upon visiting that, your machine sort of polls other machines, essentially asking for the for that other person's profile, and that goes out to other people's machines, and then says, "Oh, I've got it, I can send you it," and then you get sent it. Whereas in a traditional model, say how Facebook would work, you go to Facebook.com and you get sent what Facebook sends you because it's on their servers already, so they possess everybody's data essentially. And it's a bit secretive how that works behind the scenes and blah 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 blah. So a decentralized database where, like, the people using it share the essentially share the data server. Oh no, I thought that was a uh-oh. Let me pause. Well, okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have experienced a bit of a crash. Let me boot up the game and see if we have an autosave that can rescue us here. Holy crap, that's the first time this has happened in like... What? God, 50 videos? Something like 40-something videos of Euro Truck Simulator 2 and American Truck Simulator. We haven't had a crash. Until now. Right, we are back in. Are we recording? We are recording. Okay. Are we actually recording though? Yes, we are in fact recording. Okay, welcome back. Let's get the radio going again. And see where we are in the world. Oh, the toll. Okay. We're still 122 miles out. Okay. So I'm not going to cut the crash out. We'll just carry on. And we'll try to make it down to the final destination. If that happens again, I don't know what we're going to do. But as I was saying, decentralization, a good idea. But the technology I'm talking about doesn't use the blockchain. It can communicate with the blockchain, and in fact, the blockchain might be the only way to facilitate financial transactions, because it is, again, it's not using a server, so it's not even using a server to verify who's who or whatnot. That's all decentralized, and that's all, again, using public and private keys. So it's less easy to like couple it up with something like, say, PayPal or, you know, some other payment gateway service. So if you ever needed to, like if you were trying to make the decentralized eBay, you probably couldn't use PayPal as a payment gateway. You'd probably have to use crypto. And there are a lot of other problems too, like where do images and videos get stored? Like if we wanted to do the YouTube of the decentralized version of YouTube, well, where would the videos get stored? Would that all be on everybody's machines? That seems problematic, and not everybody's going to have the room to store those videos indefinitely. So then you've got services showing up like, I've forgotten the precise names of them, but there are services coming up that do exist solely to provide the decentralized storage solution. So rather than being this gun database, rather than being, say, the blockchain, they're this third thing. They are, and a lot of people recommend them if they are making NFTs and they're, say, attaching their JPEG to a token on the blockchain. They recommend these services for storing the images, because it provides a certain storage, decentralized, indefinitely. Because it's paid for using tokens and blah-de-blah-de-blah-de-blah. It's a very, very complicated thing, but it fundamentally works. I'd love to just, oh God, okay. I think I can now. Yeah, let's do that. And now I'm going slower than that car. It's a nice little car. Like a classic little truck, I like it. Oh. So yeah, I like the idea of decentralized, and I'm going to try to... I want to make some apps soon. I think I mentioned that in the previous video as well, but I want to make some applications. And one thing I want to have is options. I want people to have options about how they use this app, how their data gets stored, and all that stuff. I'd love to be able to include a decentralized storage solution as an option for them. So if they don't want their content held by our servers, they can just have it held by their browser, and if they're happy, also have it shared with people via a decentralized network rather than via our servers. Why they'd want that, I don't know, but what I'm really getting at is making this open source so that they can modify it to how they like and host it how they want and use whatever storage mechanism they want. Because there are good reasons not to trust, say, Amazon storage or, you know, Facebook to store your data or anything like that. There are good reasons to try to do it your own way. Sometimes there are legal reasons. Like if you're dealing with people in the European Union, you need to ensure that you aren't storing data about them outside of the European Union. I mean, that's a really loose reading of the law. You should, if that is applicable to you, absolutely look up that law yourself. I'm not a lawyer. It's something that I do need to know, and when I do need to know it, I will go and look it up again. I think we've made it a little bit farther without crashing this time, so I don't think it is the map location. Maybe we're just going too long, I don't know. First crash though, first crash since we began. I don't know why that happened. Like I began what? In June. I started with the Euro Truck Simulator 2 series back then, and I haven't had a crash while playing in all of that time. Finally an exit. It's a shame to be coming in the dark, I think, but we will obviously have a sleep and we'll head back up Mexico in daylight. Oh, looks like a beautiful location though. Look at that. Ferris wheel? We might have to explore this town while we're here. We are only 2 miles out for the location now. It is in fact just around the corner, so we'll start wrapping up, I think. I think I've said everything I wanted to about crypto and NFTs, so in the next video we'll talk about something else entirely. I don't know what that is, but we'll come to that when we cross it. I've started keeping a list of topics to talk about. Oh god. I must have been too far to the right there. Okay. Carefully around here. Nice detailing on this road. It rises and turns and... That's going to be annoying for a few moments. It's distracting is what it is. It's really distracting. Yeah, I've started keeping a list of topics to talk about, so I've got a bunch of things on Notion right now that I can pluck from the next episode. In this episode, I wanted to talk about Cataclysm Dark Days Ahead, which I just started a series for on Wednesday. That is brand new, and since I didn't die in that episode, we're going to keep on going next week and see if we survive that episode as well. I love that game so much. I might talk. Yeah, I'll talk about that at some point soon. No, why would I do that? I'm talking about it in the actual series itself. Lights are green, so I can... Really? Really? Did I violate a red light? It's not here, is it? It's a little bit further on. Oh. Keep yourself nice and wide, Tom. Nice and wide. It's got to be in here, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay. Where do you want it? Where do you want it? Can I just, Oh, that'd be nice and easy. Go on, we'll do that. We'll give it a shot. It's been forever since I've done one of these. An American truck, no less. Oh, God. This is going to be a nightmare, isn't it? Nope, no. Wrong way. Okay, just slowly does it. I should have plenty of room on that side, I think. It's just too dark. Start straightening it out a little bit. It looks like we're not going far enough across. So if we can just push it back straight a little ways. And then once we get closer, we're going to twist it into the spot, I think. Like this. Just little by little, little by little. That's looking okay, that's looking okay. It's not looking great. Ooh, okay, we're a little bit too far across now, aren't we? Yeah, okay. So just a slight pull in the other direction. And then back in nice and straight. Should do the trick. Maybe a little twist to that side. But not too much. Come on, accept it, accept it, accept it. Yes! There we go. Job well done. Fantastic, that's our first trip into Mexico complete. We got $35,000, I think. I think that gets us back more than we've spent on all those fines as well. Let's continue. We had a level up there as well, didn't we? Ooh, long distance. Fantastic. Last level of long distance. Apply that. We'll check on our drivers as well, see how they're doing. I am my only driver. Okay. Right. We need to think about hiring some drivers at some point then. I won't do that now. We're going to wrap up this episode. We're going to go find a place to sleep. That's what we're going to do. Where can we sleep in this little town? Mazatlan at the bottom of the world here. Here's a hotel. Just around the corner. We'll do that. We'll do that. Yep. Drive, please.
Okay, here we go.
Fantastic. It's good to be... It's good to be loose from the trailer and have that maneuverability back. Just a little bit.
Turn right.
I don't know how heavy that trailer was, but it did feel heavy.
Get ready.
Once we've slept as well, we'll be able to see what this little town in Mexico looks like in the light, and it'll...
Get ready. Turn right.
be back up to America, I think, in our next journey. Where are we going now? Oh, I've gone past it. Sorry, where's the hotel? Oh no, it's a little bit...
Finally, we are here.
There, I think that's where it is. But I think I can just get in here, right? Oh yeah. We can apparently park anywhere in here. But we will take the parking spot on the end here. Take this very seriously. Actually, this is a loading bay. No, we won't do that. We'll park up over to the side here. Oh, the world disappeared. Oh no. Oh no, there we go. Let's just make sure that the world exists before we fall asleep. There we go. Oh my god. Okay, so Reformer may have a few bugs, but it is pretty detailed and pretty fantastic. Anyway, I hope you join me next time for our trip back up through Mexico, and maybe we'll try and go to Canada next. We'll try and go up to, because I haven't checked out the Montana DLC either yet. So we want to go north. We want to check out Montana. We want to check out British Columbia, the Pro Mods Canada area. So hopefully you join me for the journey back north. I've been Tom. This has been American Truck Simulator. Ta-ra.